Here we go. We got some. This is our good morning breakfast over here. We are in Seville, in Spain, in another country. This is all Spanish ingredients in the food we were eating. And look at that bounty. Is a blessing. I'm telling you. And we got Norman. Norman is the bag master. We call him bag master. Master of all bags. Yeah, Norman. This guy, bro. I tell you, you think you tough. Yeah. You think you tough. You gotta hang with this guy, show you what's tough.
If you're tough, you wear the same clothes on the floor for 5 days.
Yeah, baby. Wow, look at that. What is that? Croissant, yeah? It's pretty cool. It looks very fresh. Alright. So I choose black espresso. That look like black espresso to you. So I don't know, but this is coffee Zumo. We'll see how it tastes. I mean, it's on the house, so how can you complain about free espresso? I drink this all the way till Kingdom Come. Fire!
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 Toasting! Okay.
Toasting fires. Wow! Cooked to perfection. You seen the eggs?
No.
Spanish eggs they get. From the Spanish chicken. I never tried that kind yet.
It's good.
You know what looks crazy? Should I get that over there?
Oh,
What is it? Wow. It's pretty dangerous. That one is ham.
What kind of cheese?
Good cheese. Fromage. They're all different names of cheese. They're not necessarily the type of cheese.
Oh, sorry.
They're just names of different cultures. Yeah, it's very good. That one is very good. It's low in fat. I never tried a egg yet. You know what that is right there?
No.
Churro. The lady says it's churro, but they don't have the brown sugar on it. Okay, so this is what I got. I got all kind of stuff buried under the cheese. Cindy asked me what kind of cheese it is. I don't really know. I know that's cheddar right there. That's some wonderful bacon they have. It's really lean. Not too much beef here because they've had problems with beef in the past. But we won't go over that right now. This place is magical. We're at the Hotel Don Paco. Check it out. We're in Spain, guys. Can you believe that? My lifelong dream. With my lifelong love. How freaky is that? Morning. Oh no, you can see that as we look down the way. How do you like it?
I didn't try it yet.
Okay. Let's do it. Wow, okay. Eye opener.
I made my own salad.
Wow. Panini. She made a panini. You want some? Got some vinegar and all that. Well, we're gonna sign off now.
Okay, bye.
What is today's date?
October
14? Monday?
Monday.
Oh no, 15.
7:15 in the morning.
On the 15th of October.
Monday. We're going to see the city of Seville now, this morning.
Alright, we're what? We stay imagining.
Image tour.
We imagining. Here we are. We're waiting for our bus man. Well, over here, these bus drivers, they're really good. Look at the bus too. It's really a nice bus, man. I don't know what kind of brand is this, but this thing is a nice bus. Awesome. This is where we're staying. I think that's a fig tree right there. What is today's date?
15
Today is the 15th.
Monday.
Monday. Oh, here we are in Seville. See my hat? I bought it last night. Seville.
The headsets and all that, please. Because we go to use the microphone at the bus. Then wherever we go out, that is when we use them, right? So, buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bon dia. So we go to start now the sightseeing tour. You know my name is Ima, right? Ima is the short name of Immaculate Conception Mary. So it's a very long name. You can call me Ima, which is easier, I-M-A, right, in the Spanish language. And we go now to start and to discover this city, which is my city. And I think it's nice, but you must tell me at the end of the tour, right? So Sevilla is the name of this city, the local name, right? Because the really Castilian name, Sevilla. But Sevilla, as we say here, so is fourth largest city in Spain. So the first one is Madrid, second one is Barcelona, third is Valencia. You know Valencia, you say Valencia oranges, right? And then the fourth is this one here, which is the capital in the southern peninsula, right? And we are 720,000 inhabitants. It's not a very big city, million, not really. But well, it's enough, you know, and it's a very active city right now on autumn and summer and winter and springtime. There are theaters and you know, performance in this middle of the streets and many things to do here. So the hotel Don Paco, it's located just in the city center, right? Don Paco is a nickname here in Spain of Francisco, right? So Paco, because the Franciscans in the old days, they used to have different boats, and the first one was poverty, P, right? Then A, that means you know, abstinence, right? Then C, chastity, and all that, right? So Paco, so Francisco, and well, is right there. And if you go just you know, outside of your hotel on the left, and you walk in there, you can find there, you know, a new construction, which is called in the Spanish language Las Setas, mushrooms, right? Was built in 2011. It's something nice to see. And if you like to go to the top of the mushrooms, there are 5 big, huge mushrooms, like clouds, right? And you take an elevator in the basement. You pay a ticket of about €3 per person. You can go to the top. It's an undulating walking, you know, area. And then you can see all the city, right? All the city. Have you been there?
Yes,
right. Some of you. So the construction was finished in 2011. It's a new one. The architecture was a German one, and that was for years. You know, a parking lot, abandoned area in the city. And well, when they, you know, proclaimed this, you know, international prize, right, to build something there. Many ideas, right, were arriving in here, but only one was selected by the people in general. So we selected that one there, and it's called, you know, Metrosol Parasol, but it's well known. Everybody we know, you know, that that construction as the mushrooms, right, Las Setas. Here on the right side, you have the oldest part of the city, which is, you know, the old one. Well, the buildings you see now here on the right side, they were built in the 18th, they were rebuilt in the 18th. Why? At that time, most of the city was rebuilt. We had a big earthquake in here. In fact, it was not in here, it was in Lisbon. Lisbon, in Portugal. In front of Lisbon was the epicenter. It was, you know, 8.5 degrees, 8.5 degrees, right, on Richter scale. It was 20 seconds, and it was an earthquake, and at the same time, all the peninsula was basculating, and well, all the buildings in here, you know, they were rebuilt at that time. So you must Just imagine here was the city wall, right where now is this avenue here was the city wall. That was no man land, right? And nothing else there. But the oldest part of the city was in here. So they built at that time something similar to their construction at that time. But we know that right inside is the older and medieval part of the city. The narrow street and all that, right? So this was the old Jewish quarter, and the Jewish area in here was located from there until the castle. We'll see later. And this castle, we go to visit the cathedral, but we'll see a castle, right? And this castle is the royal palace. So when the King of Spain was living in here, he was living in this city, he was using that palace. When the King of Spain was living in another city, like for example Toledo, you say Toledo, right? Because Toledo and Toledo in United States. But when he was living in, near Madrid, Madrid didn't exist, in the Middle Ages as a city. In Toledo, that was a really old religious capital of Spain. So when the king was living in there, the capital was there, right? Today he's coming in here only 3-4 days, no more than that. Because when the king is, outside of Madrid for more than 3-4 days, they send, the governor, right, send to the different cities, the Senate and the Congress. That is very expensive. We needed that, right, to spend more money. So they remain always in Madrid, and there is living the king, and Madrid is the capital of Spain, right? But this was, in the old days, the place where most of the kings were living. Queen, Queen Isabel, the one, as Queen Isabella, right, was living in here. The king who conquered this city was coming from Castilla. He was also living in there. And we continue right there, to see the older Jewish area. Look at this area here, and it's nice, right? Then the Murillo Gardens in here. Murillo was a famous painter, and he was living just in a house over there. And the oldest part of the city is that one there. How old is this city? Well, the Romans were here, and the Romans built there a castle, which is today the Alcázar, right? And the fortress of this castle are from the time of the Romans. Then the palace inside was built by Muslims for a Christian king who had a Jewish prime minister. So that was, the melting pot in the Middle Ages, right? Muslims, Gypsies, Christians, and Muslims living in a Christian city. This city became a Christian one in the 13th century. And in the 14th, for example, the king of Castilla was the king of the 3 communities in here, right? And when he was buried in the cathedral, his casket was a silver casket, and written in there, the inscriptions in there are in Hebrew, in Arabian, and in Latin, as well as in Castilian, right? So that was, the older idea in the old days. So there you see the fortress, right? So here you see the gardens, Murillo Gardens, and we have a lot of, plants and trees. And it's curious, but most of the trees you can find in here are not from here, are coming from the Americas. There, you see the bigger trees are there. They are jacarandas trees. You have them in the south, right? Then we have down below, we have the orange trees. We are coming from China. Then here, for example, we have, the oleanders right there, and they were coming from Hawaii.
Yay!
What is from here? Nothing. This was just a hill, a bigger hill, in between, the branches of the river. And the people, they settled down in here. Why? Because this was on top, so no the water was around, but down below. And the animals, like bulls and horses, they used to come here down below the river to drink water. That was the time when they hunted them, right? So here we have another building. This is a historical building. This is a beautiful building. This is today the University of Seville.
Wow.
And,
super old. How was the bike?
So this was built, this building was built as the old tobacco factory. So there were 8,000 ladies working there down cigarettes, that's right. And you know, the cigars are cigarettes, right? So they used to roll their cigars, right, between the legs and the hands, right? Like you will see in the flamenco, they used to do that, right? In the flamenco, is just rolling, you know, their cigars. And well, there were many of them, but they have right to smoke one in the streets of the city every day. So they were coming to the factories, smoking in groups, you know, singing. By the way, so that was something, you know, horrible in the 17th and the 18th. In the 19th century, a French writer was living in here, and he wrote a story about the ladies, and more than all, about one of the ladies living in here and working in there, Carmen, the opera Carmen, right? And the music was done by Bizet, and Carmen, you know, is one of the operas. And the stage of this opera is right in here, and the building in this city, right, where Carmen was killed. Finally, by Don Jose. That's what Carmen was. The building we have now there, this was the old Navy. And Seville has not the ocean in front of the city, but anyway, we have a river, and this river it's navigable. So it was the bigger river, that is the name in Arabian, Guadalquivir. So the Navy school was here. We go to see now the front. It's a beautiful one. And this was another building which was restored, you know, when the Lisbon earthquake. And you see now the front. So this building I had mentioned, it was historical. It was a very famous one. So Magellan was professor of Magellan and Americo Vespuccio, right? Both. They were working here, I mean, professors of this nautical school. Americo Vespuccio was the one who got his name to that, you know, land, new land. And Magellan was another Portuguese navigator living in here. And he sailed from there. We have the river just there. And he sailed from here. He went, was an expedition, very dangerous expedition at that time, because they knew a little bit of the Atlantic, but anything else, right? So they went you know, to South America. They discovered the Gibraltar, I mean Magellan Strait. Then they went to Philippines. They went to Asia. Then they went, you know, to a little bit to northern part of Australia. Sorry. Then you know, a little bit India. Then Africa. Then you know, then they came back in here 18 men. Right? Wow. So this was the river, and this is the navigable river. So the name is Arabian, but the translation is Rio Grande, Guadalquivir. So there on the other side of the city, you see on the other side of the river, you see a new part of the city. So that was built 100 years ago, and there are many apartments. So that was where, you know, the professionals at that time in 1960, 1970, they went there to live, because in the city center, there are houses, right? And first, it's very expensive, a house there in the city center. And second, well, the families at that time were not the big families like in the old days, right? So in the old days, we were 3 generations living together, and here is only 2 generations, right? Well, here we have now a park right in front of us on the left. It was a private park. So that nautical school we saw, that Navy school we saw there, was later on in the 19th a palace, a private palace of one of the princes living in here, the daughter of the King of Spain. So Maria Luisa was the name. She was living in there, she married, like it was typical, you know, unusually. They used to get married between castles, right, with the son of the King of France, right? They were living in there, and the Orleans and Bourbon were living in there. But the gardens all around here were the private gardens of that palace. And before she died, Maria Luisa, she gave the gardens of her palace to the city, and now is a public park. So here, you see now here the park, and then several buildings just inside. The buildings were built later for a big exhibition here in 1929. There we have a monument to that expedition, Magellan expedition, right? And here we have the harbor. Now this part is under restoration, but there we have the harbor. Argentinian building, right? And we'll see now the pavilions built for that exhibition.
Nice color.
Yes, and they are typical colors, so nice and typical colors in here. The first one is the white in here. Why? Because, well, today we can say that it's clouded, but in general, during the year, we have 340 sunny days.
Wow.
Right? So sun all over. Today is different because Leslie, you know, Leslie remains. The hurricane was the only one, the first one which was coming in here in the history of Europe, right? At least that we know was coming from there, from the United States to here, and to Portugal, for example. And really it was something, you know, very important. They built squares and they built pavilions, and you know, the pavilions you know, were abandoned. One time the exhibition finished, over, you know, the exhibition 1929, different countries, you know, the authorities, they went back to their own countries and they leave the pavilions in here. So you see now there the Brazilian building, which is today offices of the public university of Seville. Then also you can see the next one is a Mexican building. It's also a yellow color. Here we have a beautiful building, which is the Colombian pavilion, the Colombian consulate, right? And the United States building we'll see there later, right? It's still there. So they abandoned the countries, and means that they abandoned the pavilions. They went back to their own, you know, homelands, and you know, the buildings were closed for 10 years.
Wow, look at that. Okay. What's that?
I don't know, what's that?
I don't know, some power.
What fountain? Cindy. You guys stand. Three of them for $5, Cindy.
I bought mine for $2.50.
This one is 3 for $5. These are all pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
They sell them around here. And then I haven't figured out what this is about, but they've got areas where I guess they conquer, and I can't figure it out. Look at this. Rocket science right here. That's right. Yeah. Oh. This is some creepy stuff, bro. Hold on.
Spain was never active that day. It's true that Spain never acted that day.
We are in some old part of Spain. I don't know. This is insane, bro. Seville. Wow. This is is one of the older streets. The balcony has tiles. There we go. Hi, buddy. What's your name? You're so cute. You're like a baby.
I'm gonna stop.
Okay. This is the Holy Church, Seville Cathedral. This is where Christopher Columbus is buried, built in the 1500s.
No flash.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Trying to cut down on my flash. Wow, look at this. Oh, that's massive. This is our leader right here, Ima. He's gonna get some. Oh, these guys are praying. That's what they're doing. They still have to hold mass no matter what. Even though this is a tourist attraction, it's still a church. The main chapel right here.
And there, in front of us now, is a choir.
This is a choir case right here. It's a wedding altar right here, wedding chapel. The Immaculate Conception. Christopher Columbus's tomb is buried right in here.
The sun's tomb.
Oh, the son's tomb. Christopher Columbus's son's tomb. Columbus's son.
Grenade. Voilà, Granada. Ça représente la Granada. Oui, parce que c'est la même date, 1492. C'est la date de la conquête de Granada et la date de la découverte américaine. C'est la représentation de 1492.
So Christopher Columbus is right here. This is his tomb. It's a lot of artwork, man. Wow, that's crazy, man. If you're not paying attention, you can get squashed.
The menu? Yes, I have all the menus.
You're getting lizard.
No, not today. Not today. Today is a tapas dinner.
Oh, okay.
It's a tapas dinner. I ordered a vegan meal for you, and so the tapas is a Spanish dinner. They bring to the table around 8 types, different types. They are going to also to have on the side of the dish a little container with gazpacho that you can put on a little piece of bread, and like that. So the wines are included, and desserts, and coffee or tea. And while we eat, they perform in between, it's like that. So but it's a tapas dinner,
This must be the rain season. I didn't know think.
Let's die.
We are going on this dinner and show is like imitating a patio, because in the old days they used to gather, after dinner and dancing and these flamenco dances and sevillanas in the patios. So that's the place we go. And you are going to see the rough flamenco, the sevillanas, other dances. For instance, they are performing a little bit of Carmen, when the bullfighter and the soldier are, in love with her, and she does not want to choose it. She is cheating a little bit. And so you're going to see that also, that performance. It is nice. And many of these dancers is unbelievable. The energy they have, they go to despair, to happiness and so on. And really, the most beautiful thing, I think it's the energy they show, the happiness they show dancing that. So the School of Flamenco is very important. There is going to be a lady dancing, more elegant than the others. She is a teacher of the flamenco school here, and she won many awards in Spain for that. In Granada, the gypsy, they dance the flamenco and they play the flamenco. in the grottos on the hill, but it's very raw flamenco. It's not like the show we are going to see. Sometimes I did tours and people wanted to see both. You know, so.
Wasn't standing.
Golden color was not the stump was all covered with this gold isolation.
Wow,
this
awesome,
color.
man.
And he is a theater, La Maestranza, where they perform zarzuelas. You know what zarzuela is in Spain? Because it's a kind of an opera and theater together. You know, they talk and they dance, they sing. My gosh, how brave we are now. Watch your steps. I don't know if it's going to be slippery, but it's very near, just across the street.
Yvette, what do you think? Huh? Yeah.
All over the place. I'm not used to.
You're not used to the flavor, okay, alright. So we first get to the table and we see this thing inside, so I thought it was some kind of shot we were gonna have to drink. But this, I remember on the bus, she said, is gazpacho, and you dip bread in it. It already has bread in it, so you're gonna have bread with your bread.
I had to dip in it.
So I asked the lady, maybe we use more bread. We're gonna have some more bread.
Oh, you mean other than yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So
I see what this does. You know what it does?
When he got arrested,
it makes you wish that you're getting real food pretty soon.
My girlfriend married a Glenn.
That's what it does now.
You like the taste?
Yeah, we like it already.
Yeah.
Why are you feeling this? Your body.
Did you like the taste?
I love it.
Arrest for gambling. You know what? It has taste of olive oil.
Yes.
That's why it tastes like that.
It does. Not only that, but some kind of a, maybe like a chick.
You ask if it's vegan.
That's vegetable. That's vegetable chicken. Yeah, no, it's vegetable chicken. They make the chicken using vegetable. Alright. Some more vegetable chicken. Thank you. They're making the chicken with vegetable.
Have some kebab.
Kebab. So we're at the beginning of the meal and we had the gazpacho with the bread, which was fantastic. And then we're trying out this chicken kebab. It's vegetarian chicken. They make chicken using vegetable. Pretty good job, huh?
If you dip them in the sauce, it tastes okay. Yeah, I don't mind. They're not dry.
Cooked in gas.
Alan, not in a gas tank, huh? Oh, that's the kind. What is that? Yeah. Well, I don't know, cause they made the chicken with vegetable. This chicken is vegetable. You know, you just use your fork and grab yours, and then I'll pass it over.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll go. I want to get first impression, and you gotta take one of those fish cakes over there.
Okay.
Okay. And then you. No, I'll hold it for you. You go ahead and grab yours. Yeah, that one and one fish cake.
What is it?
Looks like some kind of like a meatloaf. Here. Let me hold it. Okay, wow. Fantastic. See now, so I can take the whole plate now. See, I don't have to transfer anything, and we're gonna find out how this is. How is it, Alan? What is it?
I don't know. I missed the middle yet. at the edge, so I only got the pretty. Now,
Looks like a manabua.
now I'm eating the guts of it.
Oh, the guts of it, let's see.
Guinea pig.
Go for it. This is unfiltered right here. This is the straight truth.
Tastes like some kind of like pumpkin or something. Or yam,
Pumpkin.
something.
Oh yeah. Well, guys, here I go. Everybody's had a whack at it. Give it a shot. Wow, look at that, man. It kind of like exploded once I had it cut, and then put my fork through it. It's like there's several different layers of some kind of a tomato layer, some kind of a chickpea layer.
You said there was a red pepper with
Go on, unless there was an account on YouTube. So we go on YouTube and you can bring up all the whatever you did.
I feel like they all taste the same.
so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, from our last road trip, and then we had the Japan
Wow.
recent, yeah.
I don't know, it's just, yeah, like Alan said,
Bean burrito,
it's different.
Shikoku. We went to the Shikoku.
Okay, guys.
Every seat for you.
Oh, yeah, guarantee.
Every seat is reserved.
So, I'll just stand on the side or up there.
Try on Pam.
What tastes like? Oh, soft. Soft. What kind of meat though?
Tastes like roast.
Roast beef, yeah, looks like roast beef.
Okay, let me see.
Ellen,
It's like, you know, like braised short rib.
braised short ribs, tender. Try Sydney.
Okay, let me see. Scary. Scary.
Yeah, braised short rib.
It looks tender, looks really tender.
I'm not sure what kind of meat, but
Okay.
we're gonna try it.
Alright.
Oh, it tastes really good. It's very soft. It has a nice flavor like roast beef.
Like something normal.
Yes. Thank you. Good.
Braised short rib.
3, 2, 1. So yeah, Yvette figured it out. I was looking to at the cuts of the meat.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like a short rib cut, yeah? It does look like a oxtail cut. And I was watching the meat, it's very, very moist and tender.
Oh, look at that.
You're here at flamenco dancing dinner. Hello. The flash is on, so it's super bright. Yeah, Sunday.
early.
Right.
And now it's
Open now.
now.
Right now is the time up there
Yeah,
says that it's
8:46.
8:46 at night. And the town is alive. Today is Monday morning. Wow.
Monday night.
Monday night. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's Monday. Here in the streets of Seville. Look at that. You see that green cross? That's the pharmacy. Pharmacia. And then right over here, you see where it says motos? That's where the cars have to stop here and the motorbikes stop there. And they can get first crack at the intersections. Which is cool. They should do that in Hawaii, but too many crazy riders, so cannot. Nobody's gonna listen. But look at the roads, how narrow and quaint they are, and that's the international signal for do not enter. And then you come into this, and look at this